Hello? Hello? Mic check. Hey guys, how are you? So we are here in Capitol Hill in Seattle, and we have been following the closing down of Chow's Shop. We got here Wednesday. It is now Saturday, July 4th, and the police opened it completely back up. However, protesters are not backing down. They've been protesting every night. And last night, Johnny and I were by the park because we drove by the protesters who were marching to the mayor's house. And the mayor is the one who gave the order to disassemble Chaz/shop. And so there was something here that happened last night. There was two female protesters that were run down by a car, and it was I believe it was a white car. And they did this the night before. What they had done before was when we were here, they had done a vigil in the middle of the highway. Now, what you have to know about Seattle and in this area, the police already closed that part of the hallway. It was like 10 o'clock when we were there on Thursday, and the police always close down the exits to the area. So no cars come through that part, or neither can they get out. So what happened was that somehow Friday a car got in and purposely, literally ran through two protesters, and one of them remains in critical condition. So it's really interesting because Thursday night, like, a lot of people were like talking about how, oh, there's no such thing as the narrative that there are infiltrators or there are agent provocateurs, which is a lie because that's something that happens all the time. And we were by the police station, and people drew graffiti, and then the cops kind of took their time, and then they came in and tried to arrest everybody. And we saw people that were suspects. We warned the protesters about it. One car tried to get in to the highway where they were protesting on Thursday night. And we could see that some of these people were like scanning the area because today there are some Proud Boy / Trump supporters / anti BLM people here, and they're walking around, and they were walking around earlier marching on chanting All Lives Matter. And so we knew that there was going to be an altercation. Previously, there was a 2,000 people Facebook group. People were going to attend, and there is an organized sort of counter effort that's going to be happening too here. There's a few people over there behind me, but there's also said to be more people coming in, and also continuing the protest to the mayor's house and demanding the 5 demands that they have been demanding this whole time, which is defunding the police, putting that money back in the communities, no more youth prisons, making sure that all the protesters are free, and then, of course, the resignation of Mayor Jenny Durkan is the last thing. So I think we're going to be seeing things happening for the rest of the day. We saw there's a few people earlier that were marching, and we're just going to be following along and keeping you guys up to date with what's going on. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, so basically right now we're out here. This is the intersection of Broadway and Pine Street. So this is basically where the main, if you look over here where past the Jimi Hendrix statue, that was the line where, if you've been following the Seattle Chaz protests, that's where all the police and protesters were meeting there, facing off there. In this park, it seems that there's some of the residents of Chaz left, and supposedly there was a protest today that we might have missed. I think it was a little bit earlier, around noon.
It was just a handful of people walking around chanting All Lives Matter, like literally 2 hours ago.
Right, yeah. So when we first got here around 2 hours ago, there were a few Proud Boys, it seemed, right here next to this Jimi Hendrix statue. was about 10, 12 people. And it seems they have left. I've seen a truck going around with the American flag. But other than that, I mean, there's not much left. So I think we should take a stroll down Seattle. I mean, down the Chaz section.
All right, let's go. So this part had been previously closed. If you guys remember, we were right there the whole time, and the cops had been blocking this off, and they've completely opened it up now. So there's someone talking to the police right there. So we're just walking through Chop. This is what used to be Chop's Chaz. He's asking them why they become an officer of the law.
Typical white guy response there. White guy number 3. Who do we have here? White guy number 3. Why did you become an officer?
He's asking all the policemen why they're becoming officers.
Yes, sir. Come on, white guy number 3. Come on, this is the game show here. How are you going to do? White guy number 3, why did you become an officer? You want the microphone? You have a microphone yourself. You use it all the time. When you're behind me, you pull me over, going 64 to 60. You leave over for the month, pull your 9 person over for the day. For the day 31. Come on.
Hello. So as you guys can see, a lot of police presence today. There are no events, meaning parades, fireworks scheduled because of the coronavirus. So everything that's happening today is protesting. That's what people are doing, and I think that's great. I think it's great that people are protesting on July 4th because I don't know how people can celebrate right now with everything that's happening. You know? This isn't the land of the free and the home of the brave. It hasn't been for a long time. And it's not unpatriotic to say that. It's just truthful. All right, so we're continuing to walk through Chaz's shop, and we are seeing some of the other protesters from the other side as well. And that Facebook event was specifically a Proud Boy event. It was definitely not anything that wasn't.
Your sin is going to lead you to hell. Jesus is your only hope. Jesus is your only hope. It's condemned
If
already.
Jesus is my only hope, I have no hope.
This is condemnation.
I have no hope. So this is still part of what used to be Chaz's shop. Just a reminder, if you guys haven't heard us before, we interviewed a few people and they were talking about how there was a lot of services that were provided to a lot of poor people, homeless people, youth that were homeless, and they came here and they were able to get food, medicine, advice. That is all gone now. And that's one of the things that the occupiers were protesting or upset about, was that a lot of that is gone now because the city doesn't provide that, and it should.
What's here on the right side? Right here.
Okay, so this is the police station. This is the East Precinct, the Seattle Police Station East Precinct. It was closed before. And that was a whole other thing of this whole reopening. They weren't allowed in there because the protesters had overtaken the whole thing. And when the mayor gave the order to reopen it, it included the police station as well. As you can see, it's blocked off entirely. So. And we just, there's a lot of, I don't know, Johnny, but I feel like there's a lot of tension in the air. I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty. Wanna cross or? Okay.
Should probably go back.
Alright, so we're gonna get back. We just wanted to show you guys a little bit of the few parts of the Chaz shop area. To get used to these streets being open again, because they weren't. And again, there's also supposed to be a march to Mayor Jenny Durkin's house today. They had about 4,000 people last night marching from the park to her house. And then people came here, had a vigil, and then that happened. So it's unfortunate because whoever did it deliberately did it. The car was going really fast, and yeah, it's just shocking that people would do that. But not shocking at the same time. Do we have to go by Jesus Lovers again? Because I really don't. I really don't want to be told I'm going to hell because I don't believe in Jesus. I'm a bad Catholic. The park is closed, yeah, because the park, anything that can have like a large gathering legally is closed.
That doesn't mean that they're wrong.
That's another element we don't ever talk about, fam, is that Christianity was something that white Europeans spread to indigenous populations, including Black and Native American people. They went around converting people into Catholicism in Latin America, and they did it here to Christianity. Something we never discussed, but again, Christianity in itself is often seen by people of color as the religion of the slave masters, the religion of the oppressor. That's why there was a strong Black Muslim movement during the time when Malcolm X was around, and that's why they had so much power, because it really went hand in hand with the liberation of certain people, the ability to choose their own religion. So, yeah, we're just documenting, showing you guys what's going on, what's been going on. We're not pushing any certain narrative, obviously. If you guys follow me, you know where I stand. But as far as what we've been showing, it's just what's been happening. There's a sort of vigil in his memory. Rest in power. I don't know who this is for. Lorenzo. Okay. Lorenzo. Or Lil Renz. Reminder that there was the shooting, I believe, not sure if that's what they're referring to, but the shooting of the young man, which led to a push for the closing down of Chaz/Shop. So there's been a lot of things that have happened here that people are really unhappy with. What I do like about what I've seen so far is the specific demands that these people have. They're very specific about the things they want, and pretty clear. It makes a lot of sense as far as the money situation, defunding to go into communities. Obviously, that's an issue. That's why they occupied this space anyway to begin with. Freeing protesters, because why do we need to incarcerate people simply protesting? No more youth prisons. Apparently there's a huge issue here with juvenile prisons, and so that's one of their things. And the mayor stepping down. The mayor has been involved throughout her career. She was attorney general, and she went hard after protesters, but when the Wall Street bailout happened in 2008, she didn't prosecute any of the banks. So her record is actually pretty bad. She's also under witness protection by the FBI, which is something a lot of people don't know. So, yeah, they want her resignation.
So we have the Jimi Hendrix statue. I'm going to ask the gentleman here a couple questions because he's been a prominent figure here. How's it going, man? Excuse me. How you doing? Are you interested in an interview? Want to ask a couple questions? Okay, absolutely. Not interested in an interview.
Some of these people don't want interviews because it could put them in a position that they don't want to be in. Could get them in trouble. So we're gonna check back in a little bit later. We're just showing you the beginning. There's still more people coming in. There's still more things happening later on today. So we just wanted to show the beginning of today. It's basically going to be a day of protesting. Protesting the mayor, protesting police, protesting whatever it is. And we'll see what happens. All right, guys. Bye.